Hello, I'm Quentin Marty, the Hope Trips Director for Hope International. You're watching the Ukraine English Camp training video. This video will strive to accomplish three main purposes. First, to share the purpose for the ministry that you'll do in Ukraine. Secondly, to provide an understanding of how the English camp is run and how you will participate. And lastly, to prepare you for the trip before you leave, while you're in Ukraine, and when you return home. First, the purpose of your ministry. At Hope, we believe God has positioned us to invest in the dreams of the poor in underserved communities of the world in ways that incorporate an intentional witness for Jesus Christ. Our identity is maybe best described through the acronym FISH. The F in FISH stands for focus. We are focused on serving the world's working poor by giving entrepreneurs access to small business loans that enable them to better provide for their families and work their way out of poverty. The I stands for an intentional witness for Jesus Christ. We recognize that poverty is not only physical, but also spiritual. Only Jesus Christ can fill lives devoid of hope and offer peace, contentment, joy, and ultimately salvation. The S represents stewardship. God has called us to manage the resources He's provided. Due to the generous support of Hope's Board of Directors, all of Hope's operating costs are covered. This allows every dollar donated to Hope to be used for ministry. H is for hard places. It's our desire to work in underserved areas of the world, places where war, genocide, and communism have taken their toll and restoration is needed. Because the work of Hope is sustainable, meaning over time it will be able to be supported by its own growth through the repayment of the loans, we are able to support the work of local children's ministries. To better understand our purpose on this trip, I'd like to take a look at the Maximum Impact Short-Term Missions Grid, or the MISTM grid. Let's look at the left side of the grid. The senders. The senders are your friends, your family, your church, the people who will be sending you on this trip, praying for you, supporting you financially. The goers. That's you. All of you are goers, people who will be a part of this trip participating. The hosts and the receivers. That is our Ukrainian brothers and sisters, the kids, our host families. Let's look at the top of the grid. From left to right, we have the pre-field. Right now, we are in the pre-field stage. We're preparing for our trip. The on-field. When we are there in Ukraine, we are on-field. Post-field. When we return home from the trip, what's going to happen? Take a look at the numbers 1 through 9 and make a guess at which number we spend the most time focusing on when we prepare for a trip. Maybe you guessed number 5. We do spend a lot of time talking about what is going to happen when we are there, number 5. Which number do you think often gets neglected when preparing for a short-term mission trip? Maybe you said number 9. What's going to happen to the people that we're serving once we're gone? Let me be clear that we try to maximize every number on the MISTM grid. That's the purpose of our training. But number 9 is especially important to us at Hope. What's going to happen to the kids once we leave Ukraine? Well, I have good news that the Ukrainian leaders are going to be working with these children in weekly Tomorrow Clubs, memorizing scripture with them, sharing their lives with them so that they can grow in their relationship with Jesus Christ. They will also be encouraging them to become a part of the local church. The pastor will be involved in this club so that this ministry can continue. Not only will it impact these children, but their families as well, which in turn can impact whole communities. This ministry that you are a part of in Ukraine is very important. We see Ukraine as a place in the world that God is using to raise up the next generation to go into the former Soviet countries to share the good news of Jesus Christ. Thank you for being a part of this ministry.